Today, let's slow down and bring our full attention to something many of us were never really taught how to handle: our negative emotions. We live in a world that often glorifies control, rationality, and keeping it together, while quietly shaming vulnerability, sadness, or anger. Many of us grew up with remarks such as "stop crying," "toughen up," or "you're not allowed to be angry or aggressive." Instead of giving life to our real needs, we learned to suppress and swallow them, to hide those negative emotions behind barriers of conformity. We were conditioned to believe that expressing negative emotions is wrong, that it makes us weak or too different, or even worse, that we will be threatened to be labeled as bad people. And the ones who dare to do it, they automatically increase their chance of being judged, misunderstood, or even rejected for not fitting into the social norms for proper behavior. But the truth is, negative emotions are not enemies to be silenced. They're messengers of your soul's unfulfilled needs. They reveal when you have felt unseen, unheard, unloved, or misaligned with your true self. Negative emotions like fear, grief, rage, or anxiety are not flaws in your personality. They are signals, invitations, and openings to something invaluable: your own self-awareness. They show up where healing is needed, where boundaries were crossed, or where your authentic self has been buried beneath layers of shame, silence, and social conditioning. When we suppress our negative emotions, they don't disappear. They only fester. They turn into tension in the body, burnout in the mind, procrastination in our actions, or even physical symptoms we can't explain. They sabotage our relationships, focus, and our ability to move forward in all areas of life. But when we pause to feel, truly feel our negative emotions, without judgment or the feeling to fix them, we begin to discover ourselves on such a profound level that otherwise we just wouldn't be able to reach if we relied only on positive emotions. I remember the time now, last year, when I worked in a prestigious company as a customer support for mobile games with German. I had to push myself really hard to solve hundreds of tickets by German-speaking mobile gamers on a daily basis. My clients' needs for flawless game experience were met, and mine were too, to work a job that brings me inner fulfillment by serving to others. And still, beneath the surface, I often ignored how exhausted my eyes were feeling at the end of the workday. I sacrificed my vision health by suppressing my fear of being considered irresponsible if I dared to express my true health needs and ask my work shift to be shortened. Ultimately, when I finally dared to request a shorter work shift for the sake of my own health, my inquiry was declined because it was incongruent with the company's politics, even despite my consistent excellence and commitment. I felt really heartbroken because I truly adored this job and the feeling of deep fulfillment it gave me. I felt betrayed and deeply disappointed, not just with the corporate system, but also with the part of me that was sacrificing my health and made me stay silent for too long instead of expressing my true needs. But that pain, as raw as it was, woke me up. It showed me that I had outgrown the 9-to-5 job rat race and that I'm now ready to fully step into my own path and follow my life purpose with true independence. I realized that if I hadn't been through those emotions of fear, grief, betrayal, and disappointment, I wouldn't have gained this invaluable courage to finally pursue hypnotherapy and coaching, a calling I had been suppressing for over 5 years. I shared this personal experience with you, dear friends, because so many of us suppress our unfulfilled needs behind negative emotions in the name of being productive or strong, not realizing that every unexpressed emotion becomes another wall between us and our freedom. But the truth is, those emotions contain precious insights. But you can only gain access to those insights if you first give yourself permission to express your negative emotions openly. With that being said, it's important that you learn how to become aware of your negative emotions. So the next time you face fear, disapproval, anger, anxiety, or any other negative emotion in your daily life, try to look at it from a neutral perspective without labeling it as good or bad. And instead, ask yourself these questions. First, what message is this emotion trying to send me? Second, what unfulfilled needs inside me is this emotion trying to suppress? And third, how can I offer myself the desired safety and compassion in order to start expressing this emotion openly and in a healthy way? Imagine you approached your negative emotions not as problems, but as your teachers. Imagine if every wave of sadness became an invitation to reconnect to your inner calm. If every twinge of anger or disapproval helped you establish healthy boundaries. Or if every time you feel betrayal or disappointment, you wash away an old part of your identity that no longer fits the person you're becoming. See, your growth isn't just about setting goals or shifting habits. It's also about expressing yourself authentically, even if that means facing your negative side. And that often means learning to listen with patience and compassion to the wisdom your negative emotions have to offer you. And yes, sometimes these emotions feel like too much to handle, especially when no one ever taught you how to express them safely. But dear friends, today I want you to know this. Expressing negative emotions isn't a sign of weakness. On the contrary, it's a sign that you're powerful, that you're resilient, that you can turn your pain into power and your hesitation and fear into action. This process of learning to express your genuine needs through your emotions might lead you through pain and struggle. But if you allow yourself to trust the process, something extraordinary happens. You start awakening to the person you truly are, the one who values his needs and knows how to express them, not through pain, but through genuine authenticity. And that awakening begins when you stop running from your negative emotions and instead start walking together with them, hand in hand. This is your time to acknowledge these parts of your being and connect to yourself like never before, fully and deeply. This is your time to return home to your true self, not through forcing life and avoiding your negative emotions, but through engaging with them gently and patiently, through understanding, love, and self-compassion. Dear friends, feel free to share in the comments what negative emotions you want to start expressing in a healthy way after you reflect on the questions which will be in the video's description. Take your time and allow yourself to feel deeply the message of wisdom your emotions have to offer. And if you need, I would be glad to offer my service and help you make this journey within feel even better and lighter for you. May your emotions turn into your biggest blessing. Stay safe, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next video.